Welcome back to the KBCC Garage, the build breakdown of the green bean.
Hi, I'm Rit.
And I'm Lester Garrett. We are
The
the
Lonesome
Lonesome
Twins.
Twins. You may remember that we were all in a band called The Pain, and last year's USACC build was for our GTX called The Pain.
That's right, Les. We want to thank Kissy Boy for finding our GTX, and Mark for bringing it back to glory.
You said it, brother. And now we're going to hand it over to Cliff Kissy Boy Smith for the build breakdown of this year's 2023 USACC Group Build. Green Beans.
Thanks, Lester and Rit. This is Cliff Kissy Boy Smith coming to you with the build breakdown of the 2023 Unified Scale Automotive Content Creators Group Build, the USACC, of the 1955 Ford F-100 by Monogram. And, the kit this year was chosen by Matthew over at Model Car Videos. We can do this, or we can do the panel truck, and I chose this one. It's not really much to talk about. This is a very, very simple build. I started it as soon as I got it back in September. I started working on the suspension to get it where it was, using guidance from from Fred Pappy Henry on his old double nickel. I used that, his pointers and words in order to get this thing to sit the way it's sitting. And honestly, it doesn't look like it's sitting that low, but if you saw where it came from, I mean, you guys have built it, see, you saw where it came from and see where it is now. I think it looks pretty good. It's not again, it's nothing to write home about, but this is gonna look really good on my shelf. And what we've done to it, let's see, well, it's painted with Duplicolor over a red oxide base, or a primer, I should say. So I wanted to make it look like it had a little bit of weathering. So the backstory behind this thing is that it belonged to one of Jesse's friend's brother, who was in high school in the late 90s, and he had this truck to build it, and it was painted in the late 90s, early 2000s, and basically this truck was garaged until he passed away from a unfortunate accident during an eating contest. But this is meant to have a little bit of a worn look to it. And what else can I say about it? It's not really anything, like I said, there's nothing really to write home about. It's basically just to be to participate and be on the shelf. If you followed it on Facebook, the rare things that I put up about it, I went through a lot of time making the interior. I'll throw up some still pictures of the interior at some point so you can see it. But it has a cup holder in it that I really went all out on, trying to make sure that I had the cup holder right. When it was coming down to the wire, that was the most important thing. My brain wouldn't let it go. I gotta have a cup holder. I'm putting, 2 bucket seats in it as opposed to the bench seat, and I have to have a console. I want to put a cup holder in it, and then I went down the rabbit hole of making a cup to go into the cup holder. So that's what's going on in the interior. It's nothing elaborate. As far as body work goes, I made sure it was smooth, I guess, to paint it, but ambition took over in the beginning. Like, oh, I'm gonna do this, and that, and I'm gonna make this thing great. But when it got down to the wire, I've been out of the, I was out of the hobby room here off the bench for at least 2 or 3 months. But I got back into it. I started watching other people's progress, and I got inspired again to start this thing back up again. But what I was going for was I had eliminated the gas cap here and got that nice and smooth. But when painting it, it kind of bubbled over here, which kind of added to the effect actually in retrospect. But it looks like they did some body work here to eliminate the gas cap and relocate the gas tank. And now that area is starting to, it needs work again, but it's not too bad. As far as under the hood, I did over the hood. Let's look over the hood first. I elected to shave the emblems from the side, but keep the front emblem. I kind of like the way that looked. And now let's pull the hood off. And there it is. The hood is off. And under the hood, definitely nothing to write home about. It's just the kit engine. I didn't even put any distributor wire on it. Just built it straight out of the box. Tried to paint it up as best I could and make it look good for what it was. And we'll just put the hood back on here. And the hood's back on. All right. And in order to get the wheels to fit in here, I did have to deepen the wheel tub, so I cut those out. And I had some scrap from when I built the 77 Ventura. I used the wheel wells from the Oldsmobile chassis that I used for the Ventura, and I used that for wheel wells here. And it's not the best thing in the world. It's kind of shoddy looking, but I think it kind of fits. I mean, it looked good when it was first built in the 90s, and now it's starting to, it's not deteriorating, but it's wearing, which kind of adds to the look of the truck for me. And also took another page from Fred Henry's book and did the out of balsa wood, cut out a wood floor that used plastic for the little dividers on the floor. These wheels here are from Steve Zimmerman's Z wheels. I've had these wheels, I think, since 2016 or 2017. I bought a whole group of wheels, and these were intended for the 69, Mobius 69 Ford F-100 that I had. I actually chose a different wheel for that one. It was my brother called me out for a private build off, and I used the different wheels from Iceman Collections on that, and decided to save these for another build. And they sat on my pegboard for years. And when I got this kit, I was like, oh, I'm gonna make those work on this. So there we go. And then the license plate right here, 80s kid, Massachusetts. It's because I'm an 80s kid and from Massachusetts. So enough said. Yeah, I didn't go all out with anything here. It's very simple. Like I said, nothing to write home about, but I did want to participate in the USACC build, and I did want to, I wanted to finish on time, but I don't know, it just wasn't I loved watching everybody else doing everything, but I just didn't have the fire in the belly to get it done by January 14th. And to be honest, I've told some people who watch my other videos, if you've seen my videos and I do the characters and everything, the animations that I use on that, the animations that I used for that originally went down. I wasn't able to animate my characters anymore, which is kind of a bummer to me. So it's because I like to make them actually talk instead of it just being like a still picture of them standing still. So I found a new way to get them to animate. That's for sure, partner. With that said, hopefully more videos will be coming out pretty soon involving the characters and more scenarios and more lively, I guess you'd call them, builds. There's not much more that I can think of that I need to say about this. I had fun with it. I did get rid of the bumper here, and I smoothed this over as best I could. So there's front bumper delete, rear bumper delete. I cut off the little horns here that would hold the back bumper on. Just kind of left it like that. Overall, I'm happy with this thing. It came out nice. I overcame a bunch of hurdles. You know, usual modeling stuff. You know, how to get the wheels to sit on it correct, getting the stance right. It's not 100% perfect, but I'm not going to point out to you where the flaws are. See, if you see them, you see them. But I'd suggest just using your imagination to make it look like make it look in your mind like it's actually a real truck, you know. But that's all I got to say about that. Hey, wait a minute. What are you doing over there?
Hey, KB. I was just checking out the GTX over here.
Oh, okay.
I'm a big fan of the show.
Oh, nice.
I'm also a big fan of the paint. I've been going back and listening to the albums. I heard Lester and Wright will be back later on, so I want to catch them and catch a selfie with them.
Oh, okay.
Sorry to interrupt the show.
No problem.
Go back to what you're doing.
Okay, well, carry on.
Appreciate it.
Guess the Lonesome Twins have a groupie there. Rachel likes their car. But anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in to the KBCC Garage. Hopefully there'll be a lot more coming soon from myself and the little characters on the show here. Right, on behalf of Mark Atwood and Robert and Jesse and all the rest of them, thank you for tuning in to another episode of the KBCC Garage build breakdown for the 1955 Ford F-100. All right, looking forward to doing it next year. And you guys, oh my gosh, man, I'm looking at the videos. Like this isn't on the same level as those, but I had fun. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, you guys. Hope you all stay safe. Thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing to the KBCC Garage. And I hope you have a good rest of the weekend. Take care now.
Just a couple of questions. I don't have a question. I want you to just come with me. Come now. Get out now. We won't be back.